Army ants are not individuals. They are components. Alone, an army ant is weak, nearly blind, and unimpressive. Together, they become one of the most aggressive, efficient, and feared biological forces on land. Army ants do not hunt. They invade. They do not chase prey. They consume everything in their path. Army ants belong primarily to the genera Eciton, Doralus, and Anictus. They are found across tropical regions of Africa, South America, Central America, and parts of Asia. Despite regional differences, all army ants share a defining trait: permanent nomadism. They do not build permanent nests. They do not farm. They do not settle. They move, a colony that never stops moving. Unlike most ants, army ants live in a constant state of migration. Their colony cycles between two phases, the nomadic phase and the statuary phase. During the statuary phase, the colony remains in one location while the queen lays eggs. Once the larvae hatch and begin consuming food, the colony transitions into the nomadic phase. At this point, movement becomes mandatory. Every night, the entire colony relocates. Millions of ants flow like liquid across the forest floor, over logs, into trees, and through leaf litter. There is no central command visible, yet coordination is absolute. This is not chaos. This is distributed intelligence. Swarm raids, total war. Army ant hunting behavior is known as a swarm raid. These raids involve massive columns of ants spreading outward in fan-like formations, sweeping through the environment. Anything small enough to be overpowered is attacked. Insects, spiders, scorpions, lizards, frogs, small mammals, and even birds unable to escape are killed and consumed. Army ants do not specialize. They erase ecosystems locally. Their power lies in numbers and speed. A prey animal overwhelmed by hundreds or thousands of biting ants cannot fight back. Flesh is stripped. Bones are left clean. The swarm does not stop. Anatomy built for violence. Army ants are blind or nearly blind. Vision is unnecessary. They rely on chemical communication and touch. Pheromones guide movement, attack, retreat, and regrouping. Workers vary in size. Smaller workers swarm prey and transport food. Larger soldiers possess massive mandibles capable of slicing through tough exoskeletons and flesh. These mandibles can lock shut even after death, functioning as living clamps. The queen is enormous. In some species, her abdomen swells to extreme proportions, producing thousands of eggs per day. She does not move independently. The colony moves around her. She is not a ruler. She is an engine. No nest, only a body. When stationary, army ants form a bivouac. This is a living nest constructed entirely from the bodies of workers interlocked together. Walls, chambers, ventilation tunnels, and protective layers are created dynamically. Larvae are kept in the center. The queen is protected. The outer layers respond to threats. The nest breeds. It shifts. It adapts. This structure can be dismantled and rebuilt within hours. Communication without leaders. Army ants have no generals, no commanders, no central brain, yet their coordination rivals military organizations. This is achieved through pheromone feedback loops. Individual ants respond to local chemical signals. Successful paths are reinforced. Failed routes fade. From simple rules emerges complex behavior. This is swarm intelligence in its purest form. Ecological impact, destruction and renewal. Army ants devastate local insect populations, but they do not destroy ecosystems permanently. Their constant movement prevents overexploitation. Prey populations recover after the swarm passes. Many species have evolved to follow army ants. Birds, insects, and mammals track swarms to feed on fleeing prey. Some birds rely almost entirely on army ant raids for food. Army ants are not just predators. They are ecological events. Fear across species. Animals recognize army ants instinctively. Nests are abandoned, burrows emptied. Even large predators avoid swarms. Humans in regions where army ants are common have learned to respect them. A marching column can force villages to evacuate temporarily. Livestock are moved. Homes are cleared. The ants pass. Life resumes. Evolution of the swarm. Army ants evolved toward extreme specialization. Individual survival means nothing. Colony survival is everything. This trade-off produces fearlessness. An army ant does not retreat to save itself. It advances to save the colony. Death is irrelevant at the individual level. A superorganism. The most accurate way to describe an army ant colony is not as a society, but as a single organism. Ants function as cells. Trails are nerves. Pheromones are hormones. The colony hunts, feeds, moves, and reproduces as one. Destroying parts does not stop it. Only destroying the whole does. Why army ants matter? Army ants demonstrate the power of cooperation taken to its extreme. They show that intelligence does not require a brain, that coordination does not require leadership, and that dominance does not require size. They are terrifying not because they are evil, but because they are efficient. Final truth. Army ants do not think. They do not plan. They do not hate. They execute biology at full volume. When they arrive, the forest listens. When they leave, the forest breathes again.